Hello and welcome. I'm David Kasnoff. Photographer Amy Postle came a little late to fashion photography, but she's making up for lost time. Her clients, from Bloomingdale's department stores to Sephora Cosmetics to Woman's World magazine, keep her in demand for her fashion, lifestyle, and lingerie images. And her work has been showcased in some 20 gallery exhibitions on both the East and West coasts. But Amy knows that photography is a business too. So while she's a devotee of color and black and white films, she's now diving into digital photography. Amy's is a career of imagination and reinvention, as you'll find on her website, amypostle.com. Here now, a Kodak close-up with Amy Postle.
A beautiful woman in lingerie, how can you really mess that up? But I think that being able to evoke something else from them that's, not only feeling comfort, but a feeling of them being confident and feeling great, not just because they're a lingerie model, but because they're an amazing woman. I think a lot of photographers don't connect with their models necessarily, and it's really important for me to feel like I'm making that connection so that in the photographs the model can stop modeling a little bit, and rather than taking beautiful pictures of a beautiful model, I'm taking beautiful pictures of a beautiful woman who just feels great, not because she's a model, but because she, is terrific. I got my first camera from my dad, who is also an artist, when I was maybe 5. But I was from a very creative family, so I was lucky to be brought up in the arts and be encouraged from a young age to express myself creatively. I was very into painting and drawing and theater as a child, and it just wasn't literal enough for me. I needed something, just more literal. I'm a film photographer. I shoot Tri-X 400, 400 VC Kodak. They're my two true loves in the film world. But I was in a hurry. I went to college at a later age than some people, and so when I got out here I felt very in a hurry because I wanted to be able to have the opportunity to shoot film before I couldn't shoot it anymore. And I've been pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the magazines and people in New York are still very passionate about allowing people to shoot film. So luckily I've been able to continue that. However, that said, in recent weeks specifically, I've started shooting more digital. A couple of my newer clients have kind of demanded it or requested it, and I've found that wanting to continue to work, I've really had to learn, and I've been pleasantly surprised to kind of enjoy it also. I still have my own darkroom and I still process my own film, and not necessarily because I have to, but because I want to. It's such a part of the process for me. So with digital, I've been afraid that I might be less passionate about it, but I've really enjoyed it. As a photographer, I enjoy being behind the lens and knowing, if I overexpose, this is going to happen. If I underexpose and then push my film, this will happen. And I love the creative process on camera and then in the darkroom, and I like that control. And even though digital, you can see your images right away, I feel like I have less control because, if you overexpose too much, then it's blown out and you're in trouble. Or, it's just been a different way of shooting for me that I find there's so much more post-production with developing and doing all these things on a computer, so it's a little less emotionally fulfilling. The business part of it is it's important. We all want to be successful as photographers, and I think if you're unprepared and naive, that can really hurt you in the end. I took classes on, public speaking, so I'd feel comfortable talking to people about my work. I took finance classes so I could kind of figure out that end. And in school, I really prepared myself to be able to be self-sufficient in the industry until, I got going. And that was very essential for me. I took design classes so I could design my own promotional materials and not have to rely on other people. I'm still marketing myself a lot and working towards, continuing to shoot into the future. So I target a lot of lingerie companies, and a goal for me would be to find a new company and really brand them with my work. A lot of my work centers around real, everyday women and kind of giving them a new perspective from which to see themselves. Like this feeling of confidence and female energy and go girl was always just like the driving force that ended up creating the pictures. For me, I've always known what I wanted to do, so in a way I'm a lot luckier than, I know a lot of people take longer to figure it out, so I was lucky in that aspect. I really think it's important to find what you're best at and what makes you, tick and be the best you can be at it. My work is very much about women and empowering women and making women feel beautiful and great, and both the women that I photograph and as well as the women that are viewing the photographs. I just, I hope that through my work they're allowed to see something different in themselves they didn't see before.